So I'm here thinking about Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, as we all tend to do, and his participation in the Fast and the Furious movies. And it got me thinking on what that really meant. Not the furious part, but more of the fast part. What is fast? How has fast changed? What does it mean to have a fast car? That kind of thing. And I started doing some digging and looking into it, and I figured the first place to start would be, world records. And like, what is the current land speed record? And that right now is, I actually already knew that one. That was held by the Thrust SSC, a specialized rocket vehicle made for this purpose, and it was capable of 763 miles per hour on land. And that's about supersonic. That just about breaks the sound barrier. And that's crazy that we can do that on a car. It's not as amazing with planes because they have, powerful rockets, and then they don't have to worry about crashing into themselves. But I guess when you look at it this way, it's essentially a jet without wings, but instead of wheels, and that's still scary to me. And the craziest part is, 700 miles per hour, that's still not even, no one's happy with that. Right now, the same people who made the Thrust are making another vehicle called the Bloodhound SSC, and their goal for that one is to hit over 1,000 miles per hour. That is too fast, in my opinion. And those are just for man-operated wheeled vehicles. If we want to get even faster, they have unmanned rocket sleds that are connected to a rail system, and they can reach 6,460 miles per hour. That is Mach 8.5, I believe. That is literally blink and you'll miss it kind of speed. Now, granted, again, no human is inside of this vehicle, and it is very securely connected to a rail system. So it's technically a vehicle, but I feel like that's cheating. So, yet again, these are rockets on cars. That could be seen as cheating. So I was like, what is the fastest production vehicle? What can I go and buy from a company and then have that and be able to go as fast as I could? And I looked into it, and it was the Bugatti Veyron 16.4 Super Sport. Of course, this is an extremely expensive vehicle, but makes sense because it is capable of 258 miles per hour. Now, you can buy that. You can just have one of those if you have the money. And you can go 258 miles per hour. That is more speeds than I know what to do with. And there's been problems with how fast cars are starting to be able to go now. One recent issue that's been coming up as speeds have getting faster and faster is a lot of drivers are complaining about dry eyes. And this wasn't a problem before. And why are their eyes getting dry now that they're hitting these speeds? And it was because they were reaching speed so high that they were scared to blink because of how much can happen in that time frame, that they just never wanted to blink. So the entire time they'd keep their eyes open intentionally. And when you're going 1,000 miles per hour, that's a pretty valid thought. A blink is even if that was a millisecond, that's still an entire mile that you're just going to miss in just more than you can even process. But I know these are big numbers, but that made me think about what are some old numbers? And because they've been keeping track of the land speed record since back in the late 1800s. For example, in April 29th of 1899, there was the CITA number 25 Las Jamais Content, which is a French electrical vehicle, and it had set the world record speed at that time for 65 miles per hour. My PT Cruiser can go 65 miles per hour when I want it to. I can go faster. So it's crazy to think of we've gone from 65 miles per hour as a record to literally 1,000. That's a huge jump. And I would love to think that in 100 years from now, we're going to be going from, 1,000 miles per hour to 10,000 miles per hour. Unfortunately, progress is exponential, so we're not going to make that same level of progress. I'd imagine it'll take us a very long time, possibly 100 years, to hit 2,000 miles per hour. And then, to go from 2,000 to 2,500 is going to take just as long. It's going to keep getting harder and harder because you can only go so fast before physics start to disagree with you. They will make an effort to be like, no, you're not going to be doing that. So as much as we would love to just multiply our number, that's not going to be possible. But I very much look forward to seeing what kind of speeds they're going to hit. Speeds I personally will probably never feel because I value my life and don't feel like rocketing myself 1,000 miles per hour for that sake. Plus, these are trained professionals like Air Force pilots who have done this for years, trained experience, so much training. Anyway, that's my thoughts on speed. Thank you for listening. I'm Branden with CarMod.net.